the previous class, we discussed about the Pandas library. I'm just revising some points of the previous class, and then I will start the today's topic. Okay. So for using the Pandas library, you have to import import Pandas as PD. In this way, you can import the Pandas library. Okay. Here that reason we are also import the NumPy here. Import NumPy as NP. We already covered the NumPy in our last class. We already finished that one. And next here we are creating a data frame. For creating a data frame, we are using this command. So for that, here we are at first we are just give a limit to our data frame. So for that, we are here writing np.arrange. Within this bracket, we are writing here 0,20 because our range of the data frame must be within this range. So for that reason, we are writing here dot reshape 5,4. 5 is a number of rows and number of columns. 4 is a number of columns in our data frames. And here index equals to and here we are initialize our row names with this index variable. Here we are initialize the index variable with the row names. Within the square bracket, we are writing here our row names, and within the square bracket, we are writing here our column names. So in this way, you can create a data frame. We already covered this portion in our previous class, and we all know that the built-in function ilock and also the lock function we know, and we know each columns and data frame is a data series. We already covered this one. Please don't write anything on the screen. Okay, so and we all know this built-in function x0.value.counts. We all know that. Okay, so so if you want to create a CSV file, we already discussed this CSV file in our previous class, but I also discussed it today because our today's topic is starting with the CSV file and go to the up to the Excel file, how to extract the Excel file using the data frame. Okay, so for creating a CSV .io. So we all know that the CSV file basically containing all the values are the comma separated values. All the values in the CSV file are the comma separated values. So here we are creating a CSV file. This column 1, column 2, column 3. This one is our first line. So for all the values are the comma separated, and here we are also writing the black backslash n because here we are starting a new line. So for that reason we are writing here. So this one is our string. This string is a data string. So using this, we are creating a CSV file. So when we are checking the type of this data, it is a string, because here we are writing a string here. And after that we are want to create a CSV file. So for that reason we are writing pd.read_csv. within string.io we are writing the data here. Okay, so in this way we are creating a CSV file, and we all know what is the using of the string.io. We all know in our previous class. Okay, I'm not repeating that one. We all know this one. So for reading a CSV file, we have to use this built-in function pd.read_csv. Okay, for extracting the perfect columns in specific columns for your CSV file, you have to write this this one. Use columns equals to column 1 and the column 3, because we want to extract only column 1 and the column 3, not column 2. So for that reason, we are just here writing column 1 and the column 2, column 3 in the square bracket. Okay. And after extracting the column 1 and the column 3, our data frame is this. And if you want to store this CSV file, you have to write data frame, because we want to store this data frame to a CSV. And within this bracket, we are writing here our CSV file name. Okay. Here we are just printing the values of the CSV file. All the values are the comma separated values, because all we know the CSV file containing all the values in the comma separated format. Okay, so here we are another one. Here we are using this string. We are creating another CSV file here. Okay, so from this we are starting our new class. So here another, we are writing here another CSV. Here we are creating another CSV file here. So for that, this one is our string. First line containing ABCD, and similarly the second line containing the 1, 2, 3, 4. All the values are the comma separated, and we are using one \n for creating a new line. So after that, we are just printing our data here. Okay. So here we are creating our CSV file, and here we are specific our data type equals to object. Here we are specifying our data type equals to object. Okay, for specific data type, you have to use this one, data type D type equals to object. After specifying our data type, we are just displaying our data frame. So after that, our output is like this, because here we are creating a data frame with these values. So after that, our data frame is like this. Okay. So if you want to extract, the first column of this CSV file, so you just have to write this df. Within the square bracket, you have to write your column name. Okay, and we already here fixed it out, data type equals to object. So for that reason, when we are data is this, and here also specifying the data type object, because here we are specifying D type equals to object. Okay, so in this way we are extracting the first column from this data frame. If you specifically extract the first if you specifically extract any values from this data frame, you have to write the position of that values. Okay, df within the square bracket is a, means it's only extract the first column. If you want to extract any elements from this first column, you have to write position of this element. Here we are writing 1 within the square bracket. So for that reason, output is 5 here, because the index starting from 0, 1, 2. Here we are writing within the square bracket 1. So for that reason, output is 5, because it's extracting from the first column, 0th column, and or the first column and the second row element. So for that reason, output is like this. Okay. So similarly here in this data frame, we are specifying our data type equals to int. Similarly, in this, previously we are fixing our data type equals to object, and similarly here we are specifying our data type equals to int. Okay, so means all the elements, we are converting all the elements of this data frame as a integer variable. So for that reason, here we are specifying data type equals to int. After specifying the data type equals to int, our data frame is like. Similarly, if you want to convert all the elements of this data frame into a float, you just have to specify d type equals to float. So after specifying your all the elements data type equals to float, our output is like this. Okay, 1.0, 2.0, because here we are specifying our data type equals to float, and previously we are specifying all the data type equals to int. So for that reason, here output is like this, and here output is like this. So similarly, when we are extracting the first column from this data frame, first column of this data frame, we just have to write df and name of our column. Okay, so after this class, you can play with this data frame and you can try with the different column name and different row name. Okay, so when you are practicing this one, you can understand the basic concept of the data frame. So when we are running this one, our output is like this, and also it's specifying data type equals to float 64, because here we are specifying data. When we are creating this data frame, we are specifying data type equals to float, and so for that reason, output is here this one, and previously output is this one. Okay. Okay. Similarly, you can create a data frame where each and every column with separate data type. Each and every column will be a separate data type. Here we are specifying our B column as int, C column as float, and A column as a int 64. Okay. So means previously we are converting a total data frame to this specific data type. Okay. If you want to convert each and every, if you want to convert each and every columns of your data frame to a different format, you just have to write this. So what will be our output after this? So this will be our output after this, because each and every columns are in different data type. So when we are checking the data frame data types, when we are checking the data frame data types, we just have to run this command df.dtypes, and after this our output is like this. After this our output is like this, because here we are specifying B column as a int, C column as a float 64, and D column is also in this int 64. So for that reason output is like this, because here each and every columns data types are different. Okay, so you can also create a data frame with a specific data type, and you can also create a data frame, each column will be in a specific data type. Okay, so when we are checking the data type of this data frame, the output is like this. If you have any question or any query from how to create a CSV file to up to this, you can ask me in the chat. And if you have no question on any query, just write clear. Can you please explain again? For the CSV part, means you are imposing the data types to a column. Yes, yes, yes. Each and every data type in each and every data type of this each column. Okay. Means and I can also explain what is the difference between int and int64. Int and int64, there is a not basic difference between this. Means there is a different format of int16, int32, int64. These are the means capacity of this means value store up to 32 means 2 to 647, and int64 means 9 to 807. These are the means different format of the integer. All the integer belongs to this part, and all the integer in 64 means all the integers of this range to this range are belongs to int 64 part. But the difference between int and int 64, int is defaultly containing all the integers variable, and int 64 is defaultly containing from 9 to 807 values. Okay, these are the range. Int defaultly containing all the integers value, int 64 containing 9 to 807 integers values. Okay, these are the means some data types formats, nothing more than this. Can you please explain again for the CSV part? Means you are imposing data type to each club. Yes, yes, yes. I'm just sharing. Yes, each column data types are different here. Each columns data types are different here. Okay. Here we are initialize that one. B columns data types will be int, C column data types will be float, A column data type will be int 64. Like this. Okay. And anyone have any question? And Diksha, it's clear to you that the difference between int and int64? Int64 basically a 64-bit signed integers value types, and int containing all the integers values. Okay. So similarly, here we are creating another data for the CSV file. Okay. Similarly, here we are creating another data for the CSV file. Here our columns name are like this: index A, B, C. Okay. And here just similarly in the previous commands like this, here we are similarly create a string for the CSV file. Okay. Creating the data frame and using this string.io, and here we are reading the CSV file using pd.read underscore CSV, because we have to read in this way because it's also creating a data frame from this data. Okay, from this string is also creating a data frame. So after this output is like this. This one is our index column, this one is our A column, this one is our B column, this one is our C column. Okay. So when we are initialize index column equals to 0. Okay. So after this, our data frame is like this. It eliminates the index column. Okay. This index column is creating by us. But defaultly, when we are creating a data frame from this data, it's already creating a index column here. Okay. And he is already creating an index column here. When we are specifying this index column equals to 0, after this, our data frame is like this. So when here also we are creating our data frame from this data. Okay, here when we are creating a data frame from this data, we are writing our columns name from here, A, B, C. But it's defaultly it's creating a index column here, this 0, 1, 2. Okay. So when we are specifying our index column equals to 0, it's just remove that defaultly creating index from this data frame. It's remove the index from this data frame, index column from this data frame, because here we are specifying index column equals to 0. If you want 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. If you want to create your second column as an index column, so after this, your data frame is like this. Because here we are creating our second column as a index column. Okay. So here we are removing our index column, defaultly created index column, not the index column which are creating by us. Defaultly, it's already creating when we are creating a data frame using this data string. It's already creating a index column defaultly here. Okay, this 0, 1. This 0, 1 is not specifying in our string. Okay, so if you want to remove this index column from defaultly created index column from your data frame, you just have to write this index column equals to 0. If you want to use your second column as an index column, you just have to write index column equals to 2. After this, your data frame is like this. So after this class, you can play with your data frame and you can change this index column as a 0, as a 1, and 0, 1, 2, 3. So you use this value up to 3, not more than this, because our values are from 0 to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you want to create, or if you want to use your second column as a index column, you just have to write this index column equals to 2. So if you have any question or any query use with this data frame, with this index column, you can ask me in your chat. Okay. So no one have any question. So now here we are creating another data frame. Okay. So here we are not specifying our index column. Okay. So here we are not specifying our index column. So when we are creating this data frame and this C columns values, just a second. Yes, C columns values are not given here. So for that reason, output is not available. Okay, not available in it because output is not available. Because here we are C columns values are not here. So after this, when we are writing the index column equals to false, the index column equals to false, it after that our data frame output is like this. So you can understand what is the difference between this command and this command. Here we have no index column here. So when we are using index created this, it's removing these not available values from this column, and after this output is this. Okay, so we know that the using how to use the index column. Index column we know index column equals to 0. What is the meaning of that? Just we all know the index column equals to, what is the meaning of index column equals to 0? We are removing the index column from our data frame. We all know what is the meaning of the, if you want to create your any column as a index column, then you just have to write this. Without writing anything, your output is like this. Your first means values will be like this. Okay. So after this, when we are using index column equals to false, after that, your output is like this. Okay. So here we are also creating another we are also creating a string here, and using this string we can if you want to extract a specific columns, if you want to extract the specific columns from your data frame, so for that you have to write this command. You have to write this command, use columns, and within this square bracket you have to write your columns name B and C. Okay, here we want to extract only these two columns from this data frame. Here we want to extract only these two columns. So for that reason, here we are writing use columns equals to, within square bracket, here we are writing B comma C, because here we want to extract these two columns from this data. So after this, our output is like this. And here we are also specifying index column equals to false. So for that reason, our data. Okay. So if you want to create a data frame, using these types of string, if you want to create a data frame using these types of strings, this one is a string. Okay. So if this string is not similar to the before which string we are creating. This one is different. It is also containing two backslash here. Okay. So if you want to create a data frame from these types of string, if you want to create a data frame using these types of strings, you have to run this command where we want to escape. We want to escape these two backslash from the string. So for that reason, when we are creating a data frame using the string, we are writing here escape character equals to this backslash, two backslash here. So after this, our data frame is like this. So in this way, you can creating your data frame from any type of string. So this one is our string here. So when we want to create data frame using this string, we are just want to escape, or we don't want to use this two backslash from this string. So for that reason, we are writing here escape character equals to this backslash, two backslash. Okay. So after this, your data frame is like this. Okay. Here, similarly, we are using another types of string here. Another types of data string here. Here we are using another types of data string here. And here we are converting. Here file. So this so for that we are writing here read underscore JSON. Similarly, when we are creating a CSV file, we are writing pd.read underscore CSV. Similarly, when we want to create a JSON file from these types of string, we just have to write read underscore JSON, and within this we have to write this string. So if you want to use these types of strings, if you want to create a data frame using these types of strings, you just have to write this. Okay. Here this one email name is a column. Okay. Email is a column. Job profile is a column. Here we are mentioning our column names like this. Okay. So you all know how to create a data frame using that CSV file. Similarly, here we are creating a JSON file from this data frame. So for that, our string is like this, and using these commands, we are reading our JSON file, read underscore JSON, and within this JSON, we are writing here our string. So after this, our output is like this. Okay. So you all know how to use the CSV file and how to extract the data from the CSV file, and using a data frame. Okay, how to extract the data from the CSV file using a data frame. And similarly, here we all know how to extract a data frame from a JSON file. So for that, we are writing this one. So if you want to extract the data from a JSON file, you just have to using this command read underscore JSON, and after this your output will be like this. Okay. This one reading one CSV file, nothing more than this. This is here we are using one CSV file, and we are just displaying the values of this CSV file. This one is a CSV file. Means for an example, we are using here this CSV file. You can use any CSV file from the Google. You can download any CSV file and you can try with your own. Okay. So you just have to write the link of that CSV file. Here we are just here we are extracting the CSV file using this link. So you can use any link from the Google of the CSV file link from the Google, and in this way you can read the CSV file. And here we are displaying the CSV file. If you want to store this CSV file, so here if you want to store this CSV file here in your machine, so for that you have to write just data frame to CSV. To CSV, and within this bracket you have to write your CSV file name. Okay, you have to write your CSV file name. So here we are using a link from the Google, a CSV file link from the Google, and we are extracting that CSV file using this command. Here we are displaying the CSV file, and if you want to store your CSV file in your machine, you just have to write this command df.to CSV. and within this bracket you have to write your CSV file name. Okay, so if you want to extract one perfect column from your JSON, okay, if you want to extract a perfect or specific column from your JSON, you just have to write this orient equals to your one column's name, which columns you want to extract from your JSON, which columns you want to extract from to JSON. You want to store this column into a JSON file. So for that we are writing this command, because we just want to convert this column, not the whole data frame. We just want to convert these columns to a JSON. So for that reason we are writing here df.to_JSON, because we are just want to store this column in a JSON format. Similarly, if you want to store another column from your data frame to a JSON, you have to write this orient equals to record, that column name. Okay, that column, which column you want to store into your JSON file, which columns you want to store in your JSON file. So we just have to write that column names here, and we want to convert that column to a JSON. So for that reason we are writing here df.to_JSON. Okay, so we all know how to read a CSV file and how to extracting the data from the CSV file and storing in a data frame. Similarly, we all know now how to extracting the data from a JSON file and how to reading a data from a JSON file and store it in a data frame. Okay, and we all know how to reading a CSV file link, and you can use CSV file link here, and you can read from this CSV file from that link. So for that reason, you have to run this command. Okay. Okay. Similarly, here we are discussing about the Excel file. I'm just uploading that one. Here, this one is our, for an example, we are using this Excel file. If you want to read the data from your Excel file, you just have to write this command. Excel, in this bracket, you have to write your Excel file name. Okay. And here we are displaying our data frame. So if you want to extract your data from the Excel file, so and you want to store that data into a data frame, you just have to write this command. Here, using this command, we are extracting our data from our Excel file and storing all data in a data frame. Okay, so for that, you just have to, if you want to read Excel file, you just have to using this function pd.read_Excel, because here we are reading a Excel file. Okay, here we are displaying the Excel file values, which are containing the Excel file values. Here we are storing this into a data frame. Okay, if you want to store your Excel file to a pickle format, if you want to store your Excel file to a pickle format, you just have to write this command. You just have to using this function df.excel, because this one is our data frame which we are extracting from the Excel file, df.excel dot to pickle, because we want to store our Excel file all the data into a pickle format. So for that reason we are writing here to pickle, and after running this one, this one is our pickle file. Okay, so this one is our Excel file. We are reading this Excel file using this command pd.read_Excel, and after reading the data from the Excel file, we are storing it into this data frame. And when we are converting, if in pickle format, you just have to write the command. So after this, if you want to display the values in your pickle file, you just have to run this command. Okay. Okay, df is a different, sorry, df_Excel. Okay. So after converting this to a pickle file, that one is a different one. But here we are just displaying this df.excel. df.excel, what is a df.excel? The Excel file values. The Excel file values. So if you have any question from this JSON, from this how to use a JSON file, how to use the Excel file, and how to extract the data from the Excel file using a data frame, you can ask me in your chat. Yes, Subham. Subham, yes, you obviously you can read a JSON file. Obviously, you can read a JSON file using that command pd dot read underscore JSON, and within the bracket you have to write the JSON file name. Okay, I will repeat from the JSON file. Yes, yes, yes. I can share the CSV and the JSON file for practice. Okay, so some of okay, so there is some doubts about this from the JSON file. So I am just repeating this one. Okay, so here we are creating this string. Okay, for an example, here we are creating this string here. So if you want to use your JSON file, if you want to use your JSON file, uh, for that reason, you just have to write pd.read underscore JSON, and within this bracket you have to write your JSON file path, which JSON file you want to use. Here this data string we are creating for an example because we don't have a JSON file here. So for that reason here we are creating this string for an example. Okay, so if you want to use your JSON file, you just have to write your JSON file name within this function, within this function. Okay, so uh, one is the person. Yes, Shubham. Shubham, so your doubt is now clear, I think, because if you want to read your JSON file, you just have to write your JSON file name here. Now we don't have any JSON file, so for that reason we are string here. A JSON file, so for an example, the CSV file, just suppose in the CSV file, all the values are the comma separated. Similarly, the JSON file values are like this. So for an example, we are creating here a string like this. Okay. For an example, we are creating here a string like this because JSON file values are like this. Similarly, just similar to the CSV file, CSV file, all the values are like the comma separated value. Similarly, here we are using this data string for an example of the JSON file. Okay. So if you want to read your JSON file, you just have to write your JSON file name within this bracket. Now it's clear to Subha? Okay. Okay, Diksha, I'm repeating from here. Okay, so this one is our data string. Here we are creating, and here we know how to read the JSON file. Okay, so here the JSON file columns are employee name, yes, employee name, email, job profile. These columns are already present in our JSON file. So when we are reading the JSON file, after reading this one, our data frame is like this. Okay. So similarly, if you want to use any CSV file name, any CSV file link, so for that reason, you run this command, the link of the your CSV file, and here you have to read, you have to use this function because you want to read a CSV file. Okay, so for that reason, we are using here pd.read CSV. Okay, so if you want to store that CSV file, here we are extracting from this link. So if you want to store this CSV file, is not, one is a link, Google link of the CSV file. Okay, so if you want to store this CSV file to your system, you have to run this command df dot to CSV, and within this bracket we are writing here our CSV file name. Okay, similarly, if you want to store any specific columns of your data frame to a JSON file, okay, here we are storing one specific column to a JSON file. So for that reason, here within this orient, we are writing that data frame column name, Okay. Similarly, we want to store this specific column to a JSON file. This column is present in our data frame. Okay. So if now here I want to store this specific column to a JSON file. So for that reason, here we are writing that column name here. Okay, and here we are giving one example of the Excel file. So how to read the data from the Excel file? So for that reason, you have to write your Excel file name here, and how to read your Excel file? You just have to write this function pd.read underscore Excel. Using this function, we are reading our Excel file from we are reading the data from our Excel file, and we are storing all the Excel file value in this data frame. Okay, if you want to store this data frame to a pickle format, you just have to write this df.excel. This one is our data frame name dot to pickle, because we want to store this data to a pickle format. So for that reason, we are writing here to pickle, and within this pickle, we are writing our data frame name, or we are writing our pickle file name, which name. Okay, so when we are using any function, if you want to know the brief description of that function, you just place your cursor here, and all the information of this function are here, present here. Okay, just like this, all the information of your functions are present here. If you want to know the detailed description of the function which you are using, you just place your cursor here, and all the information of these functions are present here. Okay, all the information of this function are present here. So anyone have any question? So please write in your chat. Loading. So anyone have any question from this JSON file to the Excel file? You can ask me in your chat. After our learning session is over, after learning session is over, we started working on the project. Because if you don't know about this this basic thing, you can't start your project. So you have to wait the end of the after the end of this all course, we are starting our projects. Okay. So Diksha, now it's clear to you, or if you have any question? Yes, real-time project. So today we finished the Pandas library. So we already covered the NumPy. So Panda is also covered. After this, we discuss about the Matplotlib, the next framework. All the topics of the data science and the data analytics are covered here. Okay, what's topic covering in this learning session? Just a second, I'm sharing. So now we are here. We are covering the Pythons. Okay, Pythons module 1. Okay, so we are up to this Pandas. In the next week, I will finish the Matplotlib and the Seaborn. Okay. After that, the module 2 is SQL. Okay. Module 3 statistics after that, and after that Tableau. Okay. And then machine learning, and last NLP, and after that deep learning, artificial intelligence. Okay, so these are the modules we are covering here. Now we are just up to this Matplotlib, sorry, Pandas. In the next week I will cover these two, Matplotlib and the Seaborn. After this, next module will be SQL. Then NLP, natural language processing, then deep learning, then AI, and we are finished. So if you want to try any projects, so you have to learn this. Then you can do any projects in the deep learning, in the machine learning, and in the data science, and also in AI. Okay. After this course, you can uh, try with any projects in the field of deep learning, machine learning, NLP, AI. So before that, I can't do any projects because you have to learn this module at first. Okay. I think 4 months, 3.5 months to 4 months. I can't share the curriculum. You can talk to anyone from this academy. They can share the curriculum with you. Otherwise, I can't share that one. So everyone, please practice the Python code because Python is a basic thing. If you don't know about the Python, you can't do anything. I can't share the collab link. Okay. We are sharing the recorded video, and from that video, you have to write the codes in your collab. Otherwise, you can't learn. Okay, you are just copy pasting from any collab link. That one is not a that one is not a good things for your practice. If you the reading from the YouTube and then you are writing in your collab, it will be good for you. Okay, so for that reason, we are not sharing any collab link here. Just go through the recorded video. If you have any question, you can ask me here in the chat in the class time. Okay, otherwise I am not available in the WhatsApp group. Any other course related question and all means all the queries are please ask me in this class time. I will give every day the 10 minutes for this. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay. Yes, I can share the CSV file and the JSON file, but we are not here any JSON file. We are not here. We are not using here any JSON file. We are using that data string for an example of a JSON file. Okay, I can share that the CSV file, but you have to means you can search any CSV file from the Google. You don't have means stuck to this using. We have to use this CSV file, but for your guide and the reference, I can share that one. But if I can't share any CSV file, you can download from the Google and you can use the new CSV file. All the recordings links are available in the WhatsApp group. This offer letter, anything else, these types of question, I can't answer this one. Please ask to any member of